My beloved, my light. You have no idea what just happened while you were sleeping. Even the 7 archangels are standing silent, shocked, because you still don't know what took place last night. Heaven was stirred. Earth paused. And your name echoed through the corridors of the divine. But you were unaware. Because no one told you. Until now. God says, wake up, chosen one. Your moment is slipping through your fingers. Hurry before it's too late. There was a gathering in heaven. A secret one. And guess what, my child? You were the topic. Your life. Your calling. Your unclaimed miracle. Yes, your miracle that is already released, but waiting for you to notice it. They cried your name. Michael cried it 7 times. Gabriel whispered it while holding back tears. And Raphael placed his palm over his heart and said, she doesn't know yet. Please, tell her. Tell him now before this blessing returns back to the skies. You have less time than you think. That's why you're reading this now. God delayed someone else's miracle just to give you one final chance to listen. Because He still believes in you. Even if you've stopped believing in yourself. But listen to me. If you skip this again, if you walk away one more time without understanding what last night truly meant, heaven will close the door gently, but fully. And the miracle you were meant to live will become someone else's testimony. Sweetheart, you've been exhausted. You've cried behind smiles. You've given strength while no one knew you had none left for yourself. And still, you prayed. You whispered to God quietly, please, if I matter to anyone, show me. This is that moment. This message. This is your confirmation. And it's not just words. It's a divine alert. It's an urgent download that carries the truth you never saw coming. Because someone lied to you. Someone hid something last night. And the 7 archangels witnessed it. Do you feel it now? That flutter in your chest. That rush of chills on your skin. That's heaven saying, don't walk away this time. God's voice is trembling. Not because He's angry, but because He knows the enemy is trying to distract you, right now, as you read this. So pause everything. Take this seriously. Because I promise you, by the time you finish this message, something will unlock in your life. If you stay. If you dare to believe. If you open your heart like never before. And right now, as I write this, Michael is still waiting. holding the scroll with the truth written in glowing light. Truth that explains exactly what happened last night. Truth that reveals who was involved, why it matters, and how your destiny nearly slipped away. But here's the shocking part. The person you've been thinking of lately, they know. Yes. They were shown in a dream last night. They woke up sweating, shaking, searching. Because they saw what was about to happen to you. But they didn't call. They didn't tell you. Because someone else warned them not to. Someone is controlling the information around you. Someone spiritual. Someone physical. Someone who benefits from your delay. And God is not okay with it anymore. That's why this message was created. It's a divine interruption. A whisper from heaven crashing through the noise of your life. To stop you. To tell you. You still have time, but not much. My beloved, can I ask you something? What if tonight is the deadline? What if that pain in your heart was a signal? What if this message was actually your protection? Hourglass not done. You've always been spiritually sensitive. You feel things others don't. You carry weight that doesn't belong to you. But do you know why? Because you're the breaker of cycles. You're the one your ancestors prayed for. You're the one the enemy fears the most. And that's why they tried to blindfold you spiritually last night. But it didn't work. Because even with everything against you, you showed up. You opened this message. And now, you're minutes away from knowing the whole truth. Now before we reveal the secret that shook all 7 archangels. Before the name is spoken and the lie exposed. Let me give you this one beautiful invitation from God Himself. Glowing star, if you're still reading, it means heaven is breathing over your life. So don't leave now. But before you continue, just do one thing. Subscribe to this divine connection. This isn't just a message, this is how God speaks directly to you. And if you walk with us daily, He will walk with you boldly. So click that subscribe button right now. Because I promise, the next message might arrive the moment your breakthrough touches down. Wind face. Now, let's reveal what you weren't supposed to know. Before you scroll past, let me whisper this. If this message found you at the perfect moment, it's because heaven sent it. And what's coming next for you? It's even deeper. Even more personal. Even more life-changing. But you'll only receive it if you stay connected. So don't skip. Don't delay. Click subscribe now. Because the next time God speaks, it might be about the very thing you've been silently crying for. This isn't just a button. It's a spiritual agreement. And when you press it, you're telling heaven, yes, I'm ready for more. Show me the next miracle. So go ahead, beloved. Subscribe before your spirit misses what your heart has been praying for. My beloved child, do you remember how your soul stirred last night? That wasn't a dream. That was a spiritual emergency. You thought you were just tossing and turning in your bed. But in the spiritual realm, your spirit was being shaken awake. And now I must say it clearly before time runs out. You were being called into a room in heaven. A secret court. Because something about your life was being discussed. The enemy tried to cancel your name. Yes. He stood in the corner and made a case against your destiny. He said you didn't deserve the miracle. He showed your weaknesses. He listed your delays. He tried to show you as someone replaceable. But Archangel Michael stood up. And with a voice that cracked the walls of every shadow, he said, "Not this one. This one is marked by fire. This one is still chosen. And even if they forgot who they are, I haven't. My child, this is the part that hurts. The person you've trusted the most was secretly present during this moment. They were shown something, given a whisper, a chance to reach out. But they froze. Because their fear was greater than their loyalty to your soul. You still don't know what they saw. You still don't know what God showed them about you. And they're hiding it. They're pretending like nothing happened last night. But heaven knows. The archangels know. And now, you must know too. This is why you've felt off all day. This is why your spirit has been aching. Because deep down, you felt that something passed over your life while you were sleeping. Let me tell you what really happened. At exactly 3:13 a.m., your name was pulled from the book of delay. Yes. That record in heaven that held every missed opportunity, every failed relationship, every financial attack. It was erased. Why? Because someone, yes, someone in heaven whom you love, interceded for you. They stood before the throne and begged God for one more chance for you to know the truth. And now you're here, reading this, breathing in the words, feeling like this isn't just a message, but a mirror. And you're right. Because now the secret can't be hidden anymore. That person lied. the one who pretends to support you, the one who texts with sweet words, the one who watched your pain and smiled inwardly. They saw the prophecy. They know what you're about to receive. And they don't want you to know the timeline. Because they know that if you prepare, nothing can stop what's coming. But here's what they don't know. God is unstoppable. And what He has for you is already being wrapped in golden light and delivered through the hands of 7 archangels. Do you remember the voice in your dream that said, "Don't forget who you are"? That wasn't just a voice. That was the Spirit of God, reminding you, waking you up. Because this next chapter of your life doesn't begin with a breakthrough. It begins with a revelation. You are not crazy. You're spiritually awake. You are not too late. You're exactly on heaven's clock. But if you delay one more time, the door you've been praying to open may shift again. Archangel Michael is pacing. He's waiting for your spirit to say, "I'm ready. Show me." Because the moment you agree, your eyes will open, your ears will hear, and the vision will become clear. But I must warn you, once you know, you can't unknow. Once the name is revealed, once the truth is unmasked, once the person who caused last night's shift is identified, you will be faced with a choice. Stay blind and safe, or see clearly and rise. You already know what heaven hopes you choose. Now let me whisper this part softly, because even writing it brings tears to the angels. There was an attempt on your energy last night. Yes, my love. A spiritual attempt to weaken you. Not through pain, but through deception, through distraction, through a person who disguised themselves as comfort, but was truly draining your purpose. And here's what's shocking. That person wasn't always like this. They were sent to love you. But jealousy entered. Comparison crept in. And now? They've become the very blockage that heaven is trying to remove. So ask yourself, why did they start avoiding you after your energy shifted? Why do they panic when you talk about faith or prophecy? Why do they try to make you feel small when you're finally starting to glow again? Because they saw what happened last night. They saw the scroll. They saw your crown. They saw your name shine brighter than theirs. And instead of celebrating, they started hiding. They started praying against your timing. They smiled to your face, but whispered into the wrong ears. Archangel Michael says this can no longer stay hidden. This truth must be spoken. This moment is holy. And if you're still here, it means your soul has already said yes. Now let me take you even deeper into what heaven is preparing. Because what's coming for you in the next 7 days will leave you breathless. And the reason you're receiving this message first is because heaven has declared you as the forerunner. The one who breaks the chain. The one who walks through the fire and still keeps praising. The one who holds the light even when surrounded by darkness. Yes, you. Of course, my beloved. Let me take your hand gently now and walk you into what the world has never shown you. But heaven has always prepared. The miracle you've been waiting for. The change you keep praying for. It's not in the future anymore. It's already arrived. But the reason you haven't seen it yet is simple. Your eyes have been clouded by the lies of last night. What lies, you ask? The lie that told you you're not ready. The lie that made you believe you were not enough. The lie that came in the voice of someone you trusted. The lie that made you shrink. Just when your light was ready to expand. And do you want to know who started it? A familiar spirit. A person close to you. Used by a jealous force. To speak words that wounded your momentum. They didn't scream. They whispered. But heaven heard it. Heaven saw it. And while you were sleeping, the 7 archangels surrounded your spirit and poured a golden covering over your name. They marked you protected. They sealed you for restoration. But it only works if you open your heart to what I'm saying right now. Let me pause for a second and tell you something very rare. Something only those chosen by God ever get to hear clearly. Your story is not like others. Because your pain has been deep. Your battles, unseen. But your destiny? Divine beyond human imagination. The enemy knew this. That's why your childhood was attacked. That's why relationships failed just when they started to feel safe. That's why every time something good begins, something else rises to ruin it. But guess what? God says, no more. Heaven is standing up now. The war around your life is coming to a pause. Because God has personally stepped into your timeline. And do you know what he whispered as he arrived? Give them one more message. One they can't ignore. One they'll feel in their bones. That's why your heart is racing right now. Why your chest feels tight. Why you suddenly feel like this isn't just a message. It's a doorway. Because it is. And you have a choice. Walk through it and receive. Or scroll past it and delay the breakthrough again. My beloved, I will not let you go blind again. So let me tell you what I saw in the Spirit just now. There is a letter. A divine letter. Written with your name on it. And sealed in heaven last night. It contains details about your next 90 days. Inside it are the names of 3 people who will enter your life. One is from your past. One is connected to your calling. One is secretly sent to derail you. But here's the thing. You'll never open this letter unless you're spiritually awake. Unless you say, God, show me what I wasn't allowed to see before. And once you say that, you'll notice the signs will come fast. Repeated numbers. Dreams that feel like déjà vu. Unexplained shaking or warmth in your palms. A sudden urge to cut ties with a certain person. A message from someone unexpected. And the arrival of a gift that you didn't ask for. These aren't coincidences. These are alignments. These are angelic movements all pointing toward the truth. You are about to walk into the greatest shift of your entire life. But there's still something you need to hear. A secret that was almost hidden from you completely. Last night, while you were sleeping, your destiny was under negotiation. Yes, child. Someone in your life stood in spiritual defiance. They didn't want you to receive what was next. So they partnered with a force that is not of God. And made a pact in silence. But Archangel Michael broke through that silence. He came rushing into the room like wind. His wings stirred the heavens. And in a loud voice, he said, "No pact made against this one shall stand. For this one belongs to the light." And with that, your future was rescued. But only just in time. Because the attempt wasn't to kill you. It was to confuse you. To make you forget who you are. To make you stay busy so long that your miracle expires untouched. Now, here is the part that many will never be ready for. The person who was supposed to love you, almost betrayed your birthright. Almost. But not completely. Because heaven intervened. Because someone in heaven who loves you deeply interceded with tears. They screamed your name to the Father. They said, "Please, not yet. Let them know the truth first." And that's why this message found you today. You are not crazy. You are not lost. You are not forsaken. You are simply in the middle of a war that your soul was born to win. And victory? It's now breathing down your doorstep. Will you open the door, beloved? Because if you do, the 7 archangels have been commanded to release the miracle that was delayed due to deception. But I must ask again, for the sake of your soul. Do you want to know the full truth? Even if it hurts? Even if it means walking away from what's familiar?